It is March 24th day. Lost count of the days in quarantine. But we're back with the eSports Reports podcast, episode 5, I believe.
Yes, sir.
We missed a delayed episode 5. We decided not to. What did we skip? We skipped one. Did we skip?
No, we skipped. We delayed episode 4 because we only did one last week.
Okay, we delayed 4.
Yeah.
Okay. But as you can see on my screen, our first topic that we usually the pattern is if you don't know, we usually go Call of Duty, League of Legends, Overwatch, and then Rocket League to finish it out. And those are the 4 we cover lately, as of right now. So we'll start with Call of Duty. As you can see on my screen, Call of Duty, the season continues, but no one knows when. I don't know. Right now, Warzone has all the hype, and it's all this Warzone tournaments, really.
Oh yeah.
There's been.
I'm kind of surprised with it being like the whole quarantine thing going on and everything, that they're taking this long to like even announce that they're like coming back this next weekend or the weekend after, like any time. Like I'm surprised it's taking this long.
See, I mean, like, okay, okay, I don't know how connected the leagues are, like Overwatch League and Call of Duty League, because it's like you have. The Overwatch League is so like transparent and they tell you everything and they give you so much notice, but Call of Duty League, like, I mean, I know it is still the first year, but like they really have not been like, oh, okay, this is why we're delaying. They don't really keep it. They don't really let you know what's going on. It's kind of
they're especially with like it's more surprising to me because of how much money they've put into it with like it being CDL's Premier League, like, and everything like that. Like, how are you not making sure that this continues to stay successful? And also, like, everybody's home right now. Everybody's bored out of their minds. Like, everybody just wants some. There's not even actual sports on. Like, there's no football. There's no basketball. Like,
I mean,
the most interesting thing right now is like NFL free agency, but that only lasts like 2 times a day, and so everybody's looking for something to watch. So,
I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, they brought back the Ocho. I don't know if you saw that for ESPN. Like, they brought in the Ocho, which usually they only do on like August 8th, but
yeah,
it's so bored. Like, there's nothing to do. And then like
they're trying to find some kind of content to put out there.
Yeah, because like, dude, on ESPN's Instagram, they're just showing like they I saw today they posted like their lineup of like what they're showing today, and it's like an OJ Simpson marathon.
An OJ Simpson marathon.
I don't know if it was about his playing career or what, but it was something. OJ Simpson. I was like, wow. I was like, we really are getting away. And then I don't know if you saw that thing, but FIFA might be delayed. That was.
Oh, really?
They were talking about FIFA potentially being delayed, FIFA 21. But
interesting.
It's crazy. I mean, because once real sports start up, I mean, like, if real sports don't, it's insane to think how long this might go.
Yeah.
Every day you kind of think like, oh my god, how much longer is this really gonna go?
I was listening to this podcast yesterday, and they were interviewing like one of the main like research guys for like the coronavirus and everything like that. They're like, how long will this last? And he was pretty much like, yeah, if people are still stupid and not acting like we're actually quarantined, he was like, this could go on to like end of the year. I was like, what the He was like, but if we just like do what we can and stop the spread, like if you stop the spread of it, then great. It's just gonna fizzle away and it'll take like a month. But he's like, as long as people keep getting infected and everything keeps going the way it is, like, it's just gonna keep going on.
Yeah, I wonder when they finally call it. They're like, okay, well, now we've gone this long without infection. It's safe to say that most of the population is like safe.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. He's like, with the way it's spreading, I bet you that's got to be like completely gone.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how do you determine? Who determines that? I mean, I guess the CDC, but
yeah, some really smart guys in the CDC.
Okay, either way, that I think we can call that on Call of Duty League. You wanna jump into that Fortnite drama? Like,
oh yeah.
Okay, so I read some stuff on it, and it was hard to kind of get an idea of what really happened. Like, so I basically went and commented and got someone to explain it to me what happened, and here's how I interpret it. I just lost you on webcam. I don't know if you meant.
You did?
Here, sorry, I'm tweeting out. Okay. Sorry, give me 1 sec. I meant to do this before.
Can you still not see me though?
Yeah, I can't see you. Okay. Okay, now I just have the Discord thing. But either way, I'll get into it. So basically, from my understanding, the teams were... Okay, so essentially the teams that were doing this cheating in Fortnite, they were landing Slurpee, and they were essentially farming damage off each other.
Yeah.
Because, like, in Slurpee, there's infinite shield, essentially, because of all the barrels and all the other things you can just get shield off of. So they were just farming damage off people's shields, is how I understood it.
Yeah, pretty much what happened was, like, they landed, and they knew where each other were landing, and because, like, they've played scrims and everything like that. Mm-hmm. So basically, do you know what Storm Surge is?
Yeah, where if you don't do enough damage at a certain point, you take damage.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically so, like, not everybody... You can't just sit in a box.
Yeah.
You have to, like, actively work around kind of thing. And so these guys just wanted to get all their Storm Surge damage out of the way. So that way the rest of the game, they can pretty much just play, like, tactically and hide and not have to, like, be in any kind of conflict and just go late game.
Okay.
And so, like...
So they could...
But the thing is, it was super obvious because they literally would, like, stand in the point in the river where, like, you gain health and they just stand there for a while and then just shoot each other in the head and then just stop. And then, like, or they'd be right next to the trucks and, like, break the trucks and get, like, full shield. And then be perfectly fine, shoot the other one in the head, and then re-up on shield. Like, it was definitely a problem. Like, I understand, like, the whole, like, remember when people used to, like, swing pickaxe at each other to show, like, they're not going to fight each other because it was just a dumb fight to take?
Yeah, Fortnite has the craziest ways of, like, cheating. It's so they find new ways to cheat, like, or like to team, not even cheat, to team.
Yeah,
all the time. But I think I saw they got a 60-day ban for that, and so
yeah, they got a 60-day ban for it.
And I'm like, dude, like, essentially, I mean, here's what I would say. I'd be like, okay, well, you forfeit the prize money, or you forfeit all prize. I mean, I don't know what all they lost, but you get a 60-day ban. I would say, hey, 60-day ban, you forfeit all that, and you can't play for so long. Like, but they were like, oh, now these guys can't even do FNCS for the rest of the rest of the weeks, and it's like, dude, it's your own fault. Like,
oh, for real.
Like, come on. And then I don't know.
It's kind of...
Tifu said he thinks everyone should stream when they play things like that. I don't know about that. That's interesting, but
dude, I did see that. So Creo, it was Creo and one of them on one squad, and then another one was Keys and whichever other one of them it was. Okay. But basically, Creo was in Keys's, like, he was watching him on Twitch kind of thing. Like, they were both streaming and he was watching Keys. So that way
to cheat.
Yeah, he was like, exactly. But it was one of those things, like, this kind of circumstance was definitely, like, premeditated. Like, it was definitely, like, some collusion shit going on because, like, they knew exactly where the other one was landing, and you can tell, like, they didn't just see each other and start shooting each other every once in a while and be like, oh, they're doing the same thing we are. Like, nah, this was something that was, like, existing. Like, they had this plan and they went with it, and, like, they didn't even try to hide it in the slightest bit, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I think, like, this is slightly different than, like, the old, like, hey, let's swing the pickaxe and try to see if, like, we won't fight each other because it's a dumb fight. Like, that's more logical to me than, like, them premeditating this kind of stuff. I feel like this, like, collusion, in a sense, is actually much more cheating than what we've had in the past.
Yeah, I mean, that's, like, way too, it's just, dude, it's just so dumb. It's so immature to, like, cheat like this, to basically play your early game to where the late game you can just camp. Did you see what I did to the Discord?
Yeah, so I laughed.
Okay. But yeah, I don't know. It's insane. I mean, people love to cheat in Fortnite. I swear I will say because Fortnite does give away a lot of money, it does make itself subject to this, which I think.
Oh yeah.
Like other leagues where they don't give away as much money, like there's not as much incentive to cheat.
Yeah.
But
do you think, like, when it comes to esports, like, kind of going back to Warzone, like how last time we talked about how Warzone, if it has a future in being like an esport kind of thing, do you think that this affects that kind of situation for like these new esports? Like, if they did want to make Warzone an esport, do you think like this type of cheating would be like in all of them?
I mean, okay. See, because here's the thing. Okay, battle, like, I don't know how PUBG pros play. Like, I don't know if they have Storm Surge. But in my mind, like, Storm Surge makes the Battle Royale not turn into everyone. Like, for Fortnite, like, if there wasn't Storm Surge, like, everyone would just box up and then play for placements and, like, occasionally take fights. But, like, Storm Surge forces fights, making the game more interesting. So it's like, I think a good battle royale needs some sort of incentive to like make it worth. Like, I don't know. I guess it's just placements have always been the way to win. The way to win is placements, and so Storm Surge prevents you from getting placements essentially. Like, it hurts your ability to get placements if you don't do enough damage.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I think you need something like that, but I think it's hard. I mean, it shouldn't be this hard. It really shouldn't. Like, you shouldn't have people cheat. Like, people shouldn't have to cheat for, like, to this extent.
Yeah. My thing is, like, I wonder if, because obviously you don't have to enforce, like, Storm Surge per se for, like, your Apex and stuff like that, or, like, Warzone if you had it, because you don't have the ability to box up. Like, you have to move kind of thing, and like the natural cover or like buildings and stuff is all that you have. And like, yeah, like you don't have the same ability to just build your own cover and just chill there. Like, you have to fight. So I guess more would there be like more premeditated, like, hey, we're going to land here. Y'all are going to land here. If somebody lands like with us, we're going to kill them, but not kill each other. And then just go on for the rest of the game. Like, do you think shit like that would happen?
Like teaming, just straight up teaming.
Yeah, just straight teaming.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I feel like with things like that, like teaming and the Storm Surge, it gets hard to it's a gray area on like how far is too much and how like what's cheating and what's like. Well, I went to shoot at the same guy he was shooting at, but then all of a sudden like I decided not to shoot at him. It's like you can't. I mean, and to some degree, like, okay, I do take fights. Like, I'll take a fight in Fortnite, but then I'll decide to back out of the fight. But then it's like, because, I mean, like, the FaZe Sway thing, like, a while back, like, he jumped in, came, helped him with his fight, and then he, like, ran off. And it's like, he didn't even contest his, like, friend. And it's like, that, like, dude, you got to do something against that. But then it's really hard to, there's too much gray area, and I think you need, I don't know. I mean, maybe you go with like a lesser penalty to kind of deter this, but
I feel like the 60-day ban for them was necessary because, like, if they didn't 60-day ban it, like, I don't know.
I mean, here's what I would say.
I feel like this definitely like holds enough power to make people not want to do it, you know?
I think, because here's the thing, it's like, okay, so you just cheated, and you both those duos got first and second, right? So they got first and second. So then they're pretty much instantly qualified for the finals, like for the, like, after all the duo weeks are over in the finals, the one that really matters, like, they're qualified for, which isn't fair. Like, if you're going to cheat to qualify, like, boom, like, I have no problem saying you're not playing the rest of these. Like, no. Like,
you're just like, that's it.
But the thing is, like, you get these people who are playing. The problem is with Fortnite, and this is really, I feel like, the problem. The age group is so young generally that these kids don't like they don't really see what they're doing as like toxic to the game's like growth and to the competitive aspect. So it's like, dude, you, like, say people keep cheating in Fortnite. Eventually, Fortnite then gets the name of, like, okay, it's the game that everyone goes into, and, like, comp is just cheating. So it's like, then eventually, like, say teams, then orgs start saying, like, okay, well, we're not going to put anyone into Fortnite because it's all just crap. It's all cheating. So then it's like, you end up, like, doing constant things like this could have an adverse effect and, like, kill the Fortnite competitive scene. And then, you know, all these people who are pro Fortnite players have to find something else to do.
Yeah, true.
So, like, you could screw a lot of people.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like Fortnite, and, like, when it comes to being an esport, is real kind of like sketch in itself. Just because, like, they started out with so much money and just throwing so much money into, like, these competitive scenes and everything like that. That, like, now that nothing's going on, there's only so much money being thrown around, and so all these guys are, like, willing to pretty much cheat for it.
That's a really good point. Like, so basically, your point is the prize pool is so limited that players feel the need to have to win.
Yeah, because, like, it's not like it was last year. Yeah. Last year, you could win, like, 50 grand every weekend. Like,
there was something going on every week, it felt like.
Oh, yeah. And you think about it, like, a lot of these pros nowadays, this is all they do. Like, all they do now is play Fortnite because they were making a living off of that. And now their living is going downhill because the community has just gone to shit.
It's crazy. Fortnite, like, that's a really, I really like that point because that's possible. That's very true. Okay. But I guess we can jump into League now. Let's hop over into the LCS. And, okay, so here's how I kind of wanted to start it. I already know who my biggest loser for last week was, and I don't know, I think I know who's the big winner from last week and who's the big loser from last week in your mind? Like, who had the worst week and who had the best week, like...
All right, the worst week, mainly because my predictions were way wrong, but the worst week was definitely freaking TL.
That's definitely what I would agree with.
Oh, God. I watched that. Okay. I think I have to already bring this up simply because I'm trying to partially defend myself and also, like, my anger from this weekend. And so, basically, watching these go on online was so painful, like, because each game got paused, like, at least one time, and then there were some games that got paused like 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
And it was just like,
technical issues.
It was painful, dude. It was like, hey, this support had to restart his thing because his FPS was dropping. I'm like, what do you mean his FPS was dropping? and they were talking like, yeah, they got to restart their entire computer and blah, blah, blah. So he'd be sitting there for like 10 minutes.
But they can pause the game and he can just jump back in, right? It's not like he's...
Oh, yeah. It's a big pause. Okay. Like, the game doesn't have to, like, re-up kind of thing.
It's kind of like... It almost gives potential strategic timeouts, like, where you can...
Exactly. Like, hey, we need to talk about this and do this and blah, blah, blah. Because a lot of these guys are playing on, like, 2 PC setups. Mm-hmm. So one of their PCs is doing, like, all the streaming and all the recording and everything like that. And that one you can have your Discord in. And then your actual one that you're gaming on is one you can reset. So you can still be talking to your team while you're restarting your computer, you know?
Okay, so I didn't pay that much attention. I don't think I watched that much League this weekend to keep up. But I definitely do everything the casters, all they said on Team Liquid. After that EG loss, they were like, okay, Team Liquid basically, like, crap the bed because Team Liquid, the idea is that Team Liquid had to win 3 of their last 4 games. Mm-hmm. And I guess Cloud9 is an instant L in everyone's mind. I mean, they could win, but, like, they choked a game that was potentially winnable and put themselves in a hole where it's not looking good.
And the thing is, like, the worst part about it was the fact that, like, watching that game, I think that one's my biggest like loss, because if you watched it, like they put themselves down so early, and then they were just trying to play catch up the entire time, and like it was just not a good game. Like even that, you can say like online anything like that, but like they just did not play well. It was not pretty at the start, and they're playing catch up, and then it just went down the shitter.
Okay, so I'm gonna flip over onto my flip side and say my biggest winner. When I looked at power rankings and I looked at standings and everything, I would put EG as my number one. I mean, just because I think EG has now kind of solidified themselves as like, okay, you better start taking us seriously, because we're beating everybody. Like we're not getting rolled. We're tied for 2 in the standings. I mean, this week, they do play they play Cloud9, so it's a good, like, this week will definitely be a real test to see kind of like, okay, how do they stack up against Cloud9 though? Like the real top dog. But I mean, they've been hot. They have definitely been really hot.
I agree. I mean, it was good to see that like EG won that, and then they went and beat Dignitas. Like I think a lot of people would have beat Dignitas, but like I don't know. I'm glad that at least they're doing well. Okay. CLG, I'm real disappointed they lost to Dignitas. That was sad. That's my second big upset of the game. I mean, of this weekend, because I was hoping they'd pull out one, and we all knew they were not going to beat C9. So I was hoping they'd beat Dignitas.
Well, okay. Here, who did? Oh my gosh. I forget. They were talking about it on the cast, and they were saying, I think it was Team Liquid, but they were saying Team Liquid, like, so everyone on the Team Liquid solo queued and ranked or whatever, and they all got queued together on the same team, and then they still lost in a pub, essentially a pub. But like in the only I don't know the whole other team's names or who, but they said Pobelter was on the other team, and they're like, this team still just can't beat Pobelter is really what it comes down to. God,
I mean,
stop eating chips.
I'm busy, Fletcher, right?
Okay, but it was I heard that, and I'm like, dude, like, how do you, like, that just screams problems. If you can't, like, if you queue with your whole team and you like dude, you practice, y'all, like, that's your squad, and you can't capably beat like 5 dudes who aren't in full sync. Like your team synergy should be way better than that, to where you don't lose games like that.
For real. But also when it comes to pubs, like, you don't play pubs like you play pro games kind of thing. Like, they're a lot less methodical.
Yeah.
And so,
understandable.
and also with all of them being in a pub, I could really see them just kind of screwing around with it. But you never know.
I don't know. I mean, it's like, dude, you should probably take everything serious at this point, because it's not looking good. It's an uphill battle, and they still need some help. They still have to have some help.
You're not wrong, man.
Well, 100 Thieves did end up beating FlyQuest this week. They lost to Cloud9, but they did come through and beat FlyQuest.
I told you, FlyQuest. I was surprised FlyQuest beat Immortals. I really was. But then, like, when they lost to 100 Thieves, like, that was pretty on point. Like, I'm just, like, FlyQuest is good. I definitely think they're good, but I don't think they're, like, I think they're 9-9 good. Like, when all this wraps up, right? They have 2 more games. Yeah.
They were 8-4. They were 8-4. Oh man, that's insane to say 9-9 from 8-4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they just really kind of like
they've slowed.
Their actual talent, like the caliber of team that they are, is starting to show towards the end. But I also feel like that's just kind of how their schedule's been laid out. Is like they definitely have played the harder teams toward the end, or even like your mid-tier teams towards the end. They're not playing like Dignitas and CLG and stuff all the time. Like they're having their more competitive games.
Okay, I mean, it's crazy. So okay, TSM lost to Immortals.
Yeah, dude.
I watched that game. It's hard for me to remember what happens in some of these. Like, I put it like I was falling asleep on Sunday watching some of these games. I just like threw it on the TV and was laying on the couch.
Oh yeah.
But I did.
I feel you though.
I will say all these online broadcasts, I do like seeing people's dogs pop up in their like background or whatever. It's just, keeps it interesting.
Dude. All right, I'm not gonna lie. One of my favorite things from this weekend with them like broadcasting this, dude, I loved the fact that most of the casters still dressed up.
Oh my god!
Like suit and tie and everything. I loved it, man. It was hilarious. It was so funny.
I mean, but I think that shows the professionalism they want to carry with League of Legends. Like, hey, it doesn't matter where we are, we still want this to look like as highly professional as we can.
Oh yeah.
So is that kind of
because it's one of those things like people are still gonna watch it, especially like after last weekend whenever it was canceled and all these people are like, what the hell, like where's my League of Legends? So I feel like between more people being quarantined and actually willing to watch it and the people that wanted to watch it not being able to watch it, like but with all that going on, like I felt like they knew people were going to watch it and they still had to make it look professional.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like, I feel like you don't want to, like, I don't know, maybe it's when you get to that high level of play, like, because here's the thing, if I'm a pro player, like, I don't want my sport to be, like, what's the word for it? I don't want my sport to be brought down because of like the broadcast, because like the production team kind of thinking, okay, well, it's not that serious.
Oh yeah, like, dude, definitely.
I think it makes you wonder, like, professional sports definitely, I feel like are held in a higher standard. So it's like, and I think eSports is trying to get its way up there. So it's like, they don't have the luxury of like, we'll just play it casual, you know? Like, we need to show, like, because there might be people who, like, say old people join and watch the stream. It's like, they're not, when they watch, they're like, their thought is, oh my god, like, this is so, like, they might be questioning, like, well, why are all these dudes in suits? Like, okay, this is pretty professional. Whereas, like, if they're just kind of all shooting the crap, like, not doing anything, they might be like, okay, well, this is childish or something.
Yeah. And also, like, I did like the fact that the casters, like, honestly, the league casters are awesome. Some of them I hate, but, like, you know, that's just how it is with all casters. Like, you don't actually hate them. It's just what they say. You're like, why? Like, why do you have to say those things? But beyond that, like, I felt like they did an awesome job this week because there were so many pauses. And within those pauses, like, they couldn't just sit there and be like, yep, well, we're paused, so we're just going to wait. Like, they had to keep talking about the game. Like, and, like, you could definitely tell, like, how long they've been doing it and the knowledge from all of it. Because they start dating back to, like, freaking 2005 and shit. Like, just going way back and talking about, like, all the past seasons and how they're playing. And, like, they did really well to, like, keep it going. Coffee.
They have the they have the historical knowledge. It's like, I mean, it's like, I guess, okay, so in reference, like, this past year, like, the NFL, like, I mean, the thing is, I don't feel like in esports yet, they give the commentators things to, like, go through, like, oh, yeah, make sure you bring up this happened, like, oh, yeah, 5 years ago, this is when they reverse swept so-and-so to take it all. Like, like, it's your own, it's a lot of, I feel like, your own knowledge, how much you put into it versus, like, you're fed off a teleprompter. And especially, they're not getting teleprompter fed at home, you would think.
Oh yeah, no way. You can definitely, especially with how, like, goofy they sound and stuff, like, when they're talking, you can tell that they're just talking, like, just out of their ass kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But, like, I don't know. I felt like they do really well with it. They dressed up well. Like, I felt like for what it was being online and everything, like, they did it very well for, like, the circumstances.
Yeah. So, okay. I had something, but I kind of just lost it. But, okay. So, moving in, you were talking about the broadcast. And I'm going to jump into, I mean, I don't know if you have anything you want to touch on real quick in League before we move on.
My big win. My big win. What did I already say this? The 100 Thieves over FlyQuest.
You mentioned it, but I don't think.
Oh yeah, that was my big win.
You were talking about how FlyQuest you kind of think is. We're kind of going to see the true colors.
Oh yeah.
So
true colors. But like, I felt like 100 Thieves played great that game. Like they played real damn well, honestly.
See, I mean, I guess I'm just a Nadeshot fan, so I kind of like even though I have no stakes in League, like I don't have any hard press like, oh, this is who I root for. Because like I guess if I was gonna root for someone, like whenever like. Here's my background with all the League teams. So I like 100 Thieves purely because Nadeshot. Like, when I watched YouTube way back when, I watched Nadeshot. And then TSM, I think Andrew used to rep TSM way back when. So, like, that's, like, literally, other than that, all the other teams, like, I'm just kind of whatever. I don't have any stake in them. But it'll be interesting.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. But what was I gonna say? So okay, little sneak peek into Friday. Who do you think we're gonna have a lot of? I mean, now that you say it, you make it sound like FlyQuest could be dropped to 7 and Team Liquid could make it potentially.
Dude, I don't know, man. Like, well, here's the thing: Team Liquid, they still have a chance. Like, they gotta beat FlyQuest, which I think they will. They gotta beat. They have to beat FlyQuest and C9. I think they definitely beat FlyQuest. And C9, I feel like that's almost like... I feel like C9 wants to win that game because they would rather play a FlyQuest team that's on the down than a TL that's on the up, you know?
Yeah, it's like, why would you... Like, you don't want to lose and then help a team build momentum to where later on when it really... Like, you don't want to take the game off and then have them come back to smack you later on and be like, well, we could have put them in their grave earlier before the end of the season. So I get what you mean. I feel like Cloud9, if they're looking at taking a game off, it's not the Team Liquid game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, but I don't know. Like, maybe they'll just turn it up and I'm not scratching them out yet. I'm just saying they made life a hell of a lot harder when they lost to EG.
I mean, okay. I don't see Immortals dropping. I haven't looked. Let me look at the schedule. I mean, if I had to pick one to be out, or like the three that are questionable, are kind of FlyQuest, 100 Thieves, and Team Liquid. Obviously, with Team Liquid looking on the bottom, and then I guess FlyQuest looking kind of weak. But I don't know. It's just when you look ahead, they don't have. Some of these teams, it looks like they should easily split next week, while others should easily, like, you imagine, just probably going to get swept.
Yeah.
I think everyone's rooting for Team Liquid to lose. Like everyone above them in the standings is like, yo, just FlyQuest, beat them, save us all some time, and make our life a little easier.
No, yeah. Honestly, before we have our podcast on Friday, I'm definitely gonna do like number shit and whatnot, because there's a good chance that a lot of these teams will end up being 9-9 after this weekend, and seeing how like tiebreakers work out and everything like that.
That'll be I like tiebreakers. Tiebreakers add a lot of interest because it's like, okay, this one, like, it all comes down to this. Like,
oh yeah,
it like. You put yourself here, like, now it's win or go, like, it's it. But that does also give them another extra chance, so it's like, okay, so like maybe FlyQuest drops to 9-9, and then Team Liquid somehow gets to 9-9, and they have to play each other, and then it's kind of like, okay, well, now maybe a game like that, I feel like Team Liquid may be like, okay, this is really serious now, guys, like, we need to be serious.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. But either way, I feel like we're kind of getting redundant on that, so I'm going to move into Overwatch League and get on it real quick. So, okay. So for Overwatch League, what they did this week is, so they were having matches this week on Saturday and Sunday, but they canceled all those, and they ended up deciding to do, like, exhibition matches. So what they did is like they did exhibition matches on like the test server essentially, because they brought in a new hero, and so they wanted to like, I guess they wanted to draw interest by showing these teams playing this new hero.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty cool. Like I will say, the production was a lot different because, so essentially like, I don't know how League did it, but imagine like they gave the casters like, okay, so the casters, they had to, one caster was in charge of, obviously they did their casting duties, and then he was spectating. He was in charge of spectating, swapping, observing, be the observer. Whereas the other caster was in charge of like overlays and production. So like he would do the overlays, and like, oh man, like these dudes were like, it took them a while, but they did well for what it was.
And they were just kind of all over the place at the start and then figured it out a little bit more.
Yeah, it was more like, okay, they would have like the wrong team overlays over the wrong teams, and then like, they easily fixed it up, but they were like, they're not IT guys for sure.
Okay.
But it was interesting. So so there were 4 teams that played. All 4 of the teams have played either 1 or 2 matches or less this year. And it was, so I only watched one of the matches. It was the San Francisco Shock, who are the defending world champions, and they haven't played since the opening weekend, and they haven't played, like, they looked insanely strong. I mean, this new hero, like, so basically this new hero, Nathan, what she does is she can, like, her ult allows her to duplicate into one of your heroes. So it's like, in this sense, it's like Morgan from Smite. So you can swap into anyone else's hero and then use all their abilities. But you can essentially farm up ults. Like so if I swap to a player, I can get their ult, use it, and then get their ult again depending on who the player is. And so this new hero's thought of to be really overpowered.
Okay, what role is this hero?
She's a DPS, so just a damage hero.
Yeah. How is her just like basic attacks kind of thing?
So her kit consists of, she can fly up in the sky, and then like someone showed a clip where she jumped from cross mat, like almost cross mat, the whole cross mat.
The fuck?
And then she has like she has some sort of like beam that just melts you, and then she has her basic attack, but her attacks do like extra damage towards shield. So like in Overwatch, shield tanks are a big thing to like move your team from spot to spot or to create space. And then she has like a sticky bomb. So okay, so they played best of 5. So it was first to 3 best of 5, and the San Francisco Shock won all 3 of the maps. And dude, they swapped characters. Like they subbed out their team constantly throughout the whole game. Like they were like, okay, first round you play the new hero. Next round you play the new hero. It's like, dude, all these players were like insanely good. Like I don't know if it's just because it was a friendly match and it wasn't that serious, but it was insane how crazy. Because like I didn't think they were gonna be that strong, but.
So do you think it's more of just like the team being dominant, or that character being dominant, or a little bit of both?
Okay, so I think you have to chalk some of it up to the team being dominant, because the team is pretty like strong as a whole. Like obviously you're the defending champs. The other thing I chalk it up to is the Shock and all these other teams still have yet to play with bans in play. So like they've played, but they haven't played, like all the teams that have been playing recently, they have had to deal with bans. So like you can't play these specific heroes, so work around that. So
okay.
It hasn't gotten to the point, like everyone hasn't been tested the same. But this weekend is supposed to be like, there's supposed to be like 16 matches this weekend. It's insane.
Oh my gosh.
Like, dude, I'm like from 3 a.m., 5 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., 7 p.m., 9 p.m., 11 p.m.
But we're supposed to see all the teams that we haven't seen yet, right?
Yeah, it's just a mixed bag of like all the teams. It's insane how many teams are going to be playing.
Dang.
But some we haven't seen at all. Some we've seen a lot.
Okay.
It's gonna be crazy. I can't even obviously they gotta somehow do the casting, but I'm like, dude, how are y'all gonna so imagine okay, on Saturday night, one of the games starts at 11 p.m. So say that game ends at 1. In 2 hours, they're gonna have the games for the next day starting. That's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane how fast, it's insane how many games they're trying to do. And just the times and everything, it's wild.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot.
It's going to be a ton. Okay. But that's pretty much Overwatch. I don't think there's much to talk about. We're still... I don't even know how we're going to go to predictions on Friday. That's going to be a whole thing. God, that's so much. I'm just looking at all of it. We'll probably just have to pick a couple matches and go in, maybe talk. I might just talk about a few of them.
Yeah.
Okay. So, on to our final thing, the what would you call this? The fastest, the most chaotic esport ever. The only rocket-powered esport in the country.
The only one that involves cars, right?
Yeah, I don't know. The only automobile-oriented esport.
There's no NASCAR 2020 eSport.
No, actually, Logan was telling me there's Formula 1, eSport Formula 1. So that's
really.
Dude,
I learned that there is a eSport for farming simulator.
Oh, nice.
Dude, and not only is it an esport, they're getting a broadcast studio in Germany, and also they're having $250,000 worth of prizes over 12 different events.
Okay. That's insane. I've never been a simulator fan.
Farming simulator, man, on the come up.
Maybe farming simulator might be a little more fun, but some of those, I'm just there was a big time where simulators were the wave.
Huge. Oh yeah.
It was oh yeah, my work simulator. Ooh, fun. I'm like Twitch streamers with their job is to stream oh yeah, I can't wait to play my job simulator. so dumb.
Do you think farming simulator is actually farmers that just sort of want to go home and be you know what? I want to see what the virtual world thinks.
I have no idea. It's wild. It makes you wonder because, okay, you said something in Germany, and it makes me wonder how big farming is in Germany, and maybe that plays some type of role.
Yeah. Dude, okay, first, the money in it surprised me. That's a lot of money, $250,000.
Throw up your camera.
But also...
See if your camera works right now.
Their last event was, what's it called? Oh, their last event, they had 300... Yeah, they had 30,000 concurrent viewers.
See, okay, and that's on Twitch?
Yeah.
See, what's funny is okay, so last year when Call of Duty, when the Call of Duty World League was streamed on Twitch, and so they didn't have the best times, but unless it was a big name team playing, they didn't even get 30,000 viewers.
Really?
They would get around that 15 to 20, and that was kind of where they chilled at. And then look at YouTube. Call of Duty on YouTube only gets around 50,000 average.
That's true.
So it's
farming simulator, man. That's what we got to get into. We got to get into it now.
Care about. That's where the real money's at.
Dude, it's been around since 2008.
I'm gonna have to tweet at Keys and tell him, hey, yo, while you're on your 2-month ban, hop on this farming simulator.
You can get paid this way, don't worry.
Okay. But either way, let's hop into these. I guess we'll recap our predictions on Rocket League. Do you know if we picked NRG or Ghost to win?
You picked Ghost and I picked NRG.
I thought I did.
Yeah.
Because okay.
You liked how Ghost was looking, and because NRG just lost to G2 or something last week.
They had beat G2 actually.
Oh, that's what it was. They had beat G2, and so I was like, I got a lot of faith in them right now.
Yeah, I thought I was complacent. I thought they were complacent. I mean, it was a close game, but I think Ghost is like, I think teams, when you play a lot of game 5s, you kind of, playing more game 5s is more beneficial. Even if you lose them, the more times you play that last map and you can like gather yourself and be like, okay, everything up to this point doesn't matter anymore. It's this one. It's only on this one.
Yeah.
So it's like the more times you play it, I feel like in the long run, it helps you out when it comes down to crunch time and you really have to win.
Yeah, I agree for sure.
Okay. So moving on to this next one.
Dude, easy Space Station Gaming all the way. I'm going to buy a jersey. Maybe a backpack.
I mean, I forgot. I actually saw Space Station. I think I saw they have a Rainbow Six team, I think. I saw them on Twitter for some other sport or some other game.
Probably PUBG Mobile, man.
Yeah, it probably was PUBG Mobile, honestly. But, so yeah, I mean, Space Station Gaming, as I said last week, they're like, the way they've described them, the casters and everyone has described them, is like, they're the most consistent team. And right now, they're the top dog. Like, they have jumped everyone in the standings at this point.
Dude, that's insane to me. At the beginning, when we started this, we were just like, who the hell are these guys? Like, screw them. And now, dude, I'm a diehard fan.
And it's and even like I'm not against Space Station Gaming winning. I'm not.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a hater. I don't have anything against them. Okay, and then we hate Pittsburgh. We just hate Pittsburgh. So.
Oh, screw the Knights, man. I'm so happy that C9 ran over them.
Cloud9 has really turned it around. I mean, they've put themselves where I'll go to the playoffs here, or the regionals, and I'll show you what the current matchups look like. And then I think, okay, on these G2 games, I couldn't actually tell you what I predicted, but I want to say I felt like they were going to be trending down at the end. I felt like I predicted them to lose to Space Station and them to beat Sonics. But I don't remember. It's easy to say that when I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I predicted that. I don't know. I know I predicted Rogue to win.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, I think Rogue is
I don't remember the G2 Space Station game. I know that I said Space Station Gaming because I'm full Space Station Gaming now over G2. I don't remember your take on that one.
See, because here's how
And then I know we both said Rogue because we want Flight to be relegated, not Rogue.
Okay. I do remember. I remember saying that I think Rogue has more like financial backing, so they would like it's all rigged, so
Oh yeah.
But okay, I really think this is how I said it. I think I thought like my thought last week with G2 was like they're either going to be trending down or trending up, and I was more on the trending down, and so Space Station Gaming L trending down, but then they come back and beat Sonics, who I think was on like Sonics, I want to say, was on a pretty good win streak prior to that loss, I think. Yeah, I think they had won like a few in a row. Maybe they hadn't won they had a win streak going, then they lost one, and then I think they won.
Yeah, they lost
another one.
They lost last week to Cloud9.
Okay, that's right.
And then this week they came back. And then they lost to G2. Yeah, because I remember I said G2 would win that one. Because I was like, G2 is going to lose to Space Station, and then they're going to turn around and win against Sonic.
I mean, I think G2 is a pretty good team. I really didn't even realize it said G2 in the little logo. I never even noticed that. I just thought it was a fake.
You see, this is like the whole Sonics. Like, we didn't see the S in the little Sonic symbol either.
I know. I'm just waiting until someone's like, you don't see the SSG in Space Station Gaming? I mean, maybe I see the G. I think I might see the G.
Where do you see a G?
So, like, just imagine the whole outline as a G, like a cursive G, like one of those weird Gs. Not one you'll ever...
No, I see what you're saying.
Those weird Gs. Okay. But, so here, I'm gonna jump and look at the regionals and show you. Like, I don't know exactly how it all works out because it's kind of confusing when I was looking. Because, like, okay, there's this blank game that goes right here, and I don't know who plays who.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's possibly how it could go. So these two play. The winners play here, and then the winner plays the lower seed, and the loser plays the higher seed, potentially. That could be how it goes. But I think it's weird to have the winner of these two games play each other for no reason. I think that just... I don't know.
Yeah, that would be weird.
It's a weird look, I think. But I mean, maybe they just need another game to fill or whatever, but
or maybe yeah.
I don't know. It's okay, so
oh, and it's a best of 7.
Yeah, it's best of 7 now. So, okay. Man, I don't want to get into predictions, but it looks like, I mean, I feel like the top dogs are just going to come through. Like, but I don't really know.
I think there'll be good games.
Hopefully.
Good games for sure next week.
Hopefully. I think the teams you expect to win are going to be the ones that win. I think when it comes down to playoffs, I think that's kind of when, like, the upsets sort of stop. I feel like when you get into playoffs in sports, it really comes down to, like, talent. Like, how much talent do you really have?
Oh, yeah.
But that's, I don't know, Rocket League, dude, honestly, when I was looking at the standings just now, and it's crazy to see, like, Rogue didn't even finish in 9th. They ended up finishing in 8th. Tied with Pittsburgh. Like, God, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh? Are you kidding me? They tied with them?
Yeah, they're below them, but they've same rank.
Dude, Pittsburgh got 7th? Ah, man, dude. Okay, E United was trash. Flight was horrific.
See, it just makes me wonder, like, do you feel like 9 games is enough? Like, I feel like I don't like 9 games, especially if they play twice, like 2 times every week, kind of.
Well, only some of them do. You see, I feel like they should play. I feel like they should play 2 times every week.
I don't love the idea. I mean, I guess it's sheerly off time. Like, they don't have the time to do all that. But I think Rocket League has been a consistent esport tour. I feel like they should kind of give it more. Like, their season should go longer than 9 games.
Oh, yeah. Do you think they should, like, break them up into divisions? Like, have it 2 divisions of 5, and then the top 3 teams make it?
Okay, if you did it like that, I think you would do more like the top seeds make it, and then the best 4, regardless of division.
Oh, okay. So there's no point in doing divisions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think divisions is what they need. I think they just, like,
need more games.
I don't know if they need more games. I mean, I don't want to bring in more games without more teams, but I do like the idea. I do like for leagues to have a relegation system to where it kind of like, dude, what's the point? Like, if there's no downside to getting last, like, it's kind of lame.
Yeah, that's true. Well, okay, they only have 9 games, so does that just mean that they play each person 1 time?
That's a good question. That does sound like it could. I do like that. If everyone plays everybody, I will say I do like that.
You see, but I don't know, because, like, if you have 1 bad game, like,
you should play everyone twice.
See, I think I'm starting to think the same team have like an 18-game season. I mean, if you think about it, this has only been like 7 weeks.
Yeah.
It's gonna conclude by week like 10.
But they do. I mean, they have more. Because I want to say, like, okay, the Rocket League, I don't know, they're in season 9, and I don't know how long. I don't think Rocket League's been out for 9 years, so, like, I don't know if they do 2 seasons a year, or what.
But I get what you're saying.
Like, I think they need more games.
I agree.
I think, but also it's kind of like, you don't want to overflow your league with games to where then it's kind of like, oh, I missed one, it's whatever. Like, 9 games kind of is like, oh god, I better tune in and see.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do think Rocket League games have like, Rocket League is a very quick esport. Like, if you were to go back and watch the VODs, if you skip around, you could get through the games pretty quick because the games are 5 minutes and they play best. Like, so potentially like one match may take 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is pretty, like, in the overall sense of things, that's pretty quick.
Oh yeah, like one League of Legends game takes over 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And not to mentioning all the like things you got to transition to and all this and all that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
You see, in that aspect, I think you should just play more games.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. It's like, I don't want to, like, it's like you need to play, like, you can play more games, but then it's like, do you drop it down to best of 3 to where, like, you only have to win 2 to go on, or, like...
Yeah, you could just do a race to 2 with all... Oh, wait, that's already what it is. That's not what I meant.
Right now they do best of 5s for the regular season.
Yeah.
It's just... I don't know. Okay. So, I mean, that's kind of it. I think we got it all, right? Do you have anything else you want to...
throw on in here?
Yeah, anything you want to end on?
I mean, we covered the cheating. We covered the farming simulator, man.
Oh, yeah, farming simulator. Big news.
Important stuff, dude. I feel like all these like streamers are kind of getting on edge with each other because they're having to spend more time with each other because of the corona.
Yeah, when you say that, are you referring to like Ninja and Nate Shot?
Oh yeah, all that fun stuff.
Gosh, man.
Dude, one thing. Okay, so I saw that, I can't remember, a couple of Twitch streamers like Ninja and stuff like that are doing streams and raising money for corona.
Okay, relief.
And like, you see, like, and I hope that's what it's for. I hope it's for like the relief end of it, like helping the people that need help during these times. Because like, you know, you got your people that work like your hourly jobs that just aren't having work right now, and like bills aren't stopping, you know. And so like, I hope it's going to that stuff and not going to like finding a cure. Because in the end, it's a virus. Like they're developing one. It's just going to take at least a year. Like that's just how this shit has to happen. So like, I hope they actually did research and it's actually going to like good stuff. But I am happy like the people that are making money still are like using that money to donate. But like, I don't know. It's kind of sketchy to see where things are right now.
Donating for a cure, yeah, I don't see a point in that, but like, I guess it's just like, I mean, how do you distribute the money, and then who like, I don't know, it's always anything, like, okay, I'll be honest, I've never donated in a charity stream at all. I've never donated to a streamer at all, like, physical money, or like virtual money, whatever. So it's like, I don't see, because it's like you don't see the impact, and then it's really for like the benefit you get out of donating is none, really. Like you get your name called out. Like I don't feel like donations are the way to benefit. And then it's hard. Like, I mean, if I was gonna donate to something, like I feel like I want to be really informed on what I'm donating on.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I hope the streamers that are doing that kind of stuff are extremely informed on it. So that way the donations they are getting from people, like, because half of these are like, you know, some of them for Ninja are like little 10-year-olds that are like, Mom, can I give Ninja like $5 to go help out everybody with cancer? Like, not cancer, with the corona. Like, I hope people like that know what they're doing with that money, and they've done their research and everything.
Exactly. I mean, it's like, yeah, because what you're saying, like, I feel like the people who really need help are the people who, like, aren't at like stuck at home, not working, and then, like, eventually it all catches up with them. Like, your rent's due, your whatever's due, like.
Oh, yeah. But all I know is that this stuff's got to pick up and the market's got to pick up, because like you can see how it's affecting everything, and you can also see how it's affecting esports. Like, honestly, kind of pretty concerned about a bunch of teams not having like the money and stuff, because all the market's going down, and so this is affecting all these big teams like a ton. And with all the stuff being canceled, it's pretty much like money thrown away. And so they're not getting any kind of profit. Like, everybody this year is just trying to scratch by with trying to lose the least amount of money as possible. They're no longer looking to like profit and like grow the sports. I feel like they're all just trying to make sure they come out even, if possible.
Yeah, because it really, like, I mean, it makes me curious on how much, like, how does an esports organization profit, like, make drastic profits? I mean, obviously winning events and stuff is a source of income, and then I guess you get some revenue from your streamers and like people who are faces of it. But like, when it's all, like, I really would love to know the numbers. Like, okay, when it's all said and done, like, we have to make this amount, like we have to make 20 million, and how we're gonna make this 20 million is through what? Like, what are we doing to like make the money?
Yeah,
because it seems like org could be like a big hole. Like, you could just be building a big hole, like, with no ever like way to actually profit.
Oh yeah,
because there's no, like, I mean, there's no like, if you want to start an esports org, this is what you do. There's no like foundation and step to like here's where you start and here's how you like work to make a profit. Like, sure, you build your brand and like you sell like merch, one way to make profit. Like, but obviously you have to make yourself known, so it's like you got to win tournaments so people are like, oh, I like him, oh whatever, like I signed him. Like, this year is a year to just we got to surviving this year, and we can survive any year. I feel like that's how this is looking at it.
For sure. I don't know. I do want to see like people like Call of Duty and the CDL like start to try to take advantage of the fact that everybody is home right now, and you can broadcast games in the middle of the damn day. Like, honestly, you could be having pros like play a stupid amount of games right now. And not saying like work them to death, but like, even if they're not like legitimate games because they are online, like have scrims, have stuff that people are like like we were saying last time, like if pros are playing Warzone and kicking ass, and then they're like, oh, this guy's a pro in COD, let me watch some of that, and they have like scrims going on like once a week, twice a week, or something like that. It's like if they tune into scrims, then later on they will tune into CDL.
Yeah, I mean, I think they do like no esports should like. I don't think any of the esports are benefiting from just putting it on hold. I think even getting some type of tournament across, like, I think really like right now is like the perfect time for like Call of Duty. What they could do is do get some amount of prize pool. Like, it doesn't have to be a lot, like some prize pool that these pros deem worthy of playing, and then we'll do we'll make a tournament like the COVID COVID relief tournament or something, like, or whatever, like some type of tournament that will draw interest, and then like it gives like pro Call of Duty players or pro any players a chance to like compete and at least like potentially draw viewers in who might otherwise not be interested.
Yeah, I agree.
I think why don't we just do like COD League March Madness or something? Why don't we call it that? And I'm talking like bring in AM teams or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, they could, like, okay, because, so Call of Duty, like, the world champions, what they used to do is it's like, okay, so all the pro league teams, so, like, what they would do is they'd have, like, 16 groups or something. And they would have all the pro league teams, 2 per group. And then they would do, like, the other 2 spots in the group would be, like, amateur teams. And then, so then, like, amateur teams would play pro, like, everyone would play everyone in their group, and then 2 teams from each group would make it out. And then, like, they would go to the winner's bracket, the 2 bottom tier teams go to the loser bracket. And so I feel like they could do sort of like, they could do a big tournament over the course of a couple days and draw, like, and generate interest, at least.
No, yeah. I think that'd be good. Like, I think, like, these kind of ideas are definitely what they need. And, like, I'm wondering if that's why they're taking so long to do something. But at the same time, real worried that they're just kind of, like, sitting there shitting a brick trying to figure everything out.
Like, here's the thing. Like, I feel like they're concerned about things like potential in-game issues like lag or something. But then, like, here's my thought. Like, okay, so say we end up getting to the finals or whatever, like in this mid-season tournament, like this tournament we just made up. So say like the last game it's all laggy or whatever. Like, say it's laggy. Say someone claims like, oh well, we got screwed because of lag. I feel like that generates trending. That starts to trend like, oh, like lag, blah 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 blah. Like, then people go on Twitter and they start fighting or whatever. Like, they start talking to each other like, oh, we would have beat you. Like, it just, then the drama or like the issues draw more interest. So it's like, even potentially
all media is good media.
Yeah, like, yeah, you could have a lot of, like, you could draw a lot of interest, not sheer like from other things that come from playing the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, but I think that about wraps it up. I think that's basically all I got. Maybe we'll so for Friday Friday, what do we got? I mean, we probably need to, I guess if we have any Call of Duty news, we'll get you, I guess we'll look for some player drama. I did see some player drama going on, so we might touch on that a little bit. We'll get into the final week of league predictions and kind of thoughts on the playoffs. And then we got to somehow figure out a way to somehow break down Overwatch League. That's because I feel like if we went game by game or try to go game by game, like, we could talk for hours.
Oh yeah, that'll be real interesting. We'll figure out exactly how to do that.
And then Rocket League we'll give you our predictions for how we think it's all going to shake up and who's going to come away with the dub in regionals for the North American Rocket League Championship Series.
Yeah.
But I think that's it, you know. Thanks for tuning in. If you watched live or if you're watching on YouTube or listening through Anchor, appreciate you tuning in.
Oh yeah, thanks guys.
I'm out. KernelCory out. Naterbutter out.